Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the City of Pittsburgh Standing Commission meeting for the Clean Pittsburgh Commission for May of 2023. My name is Lori Beth Jones. I am just a resident of Crafton Heights and co-chair of the commission at this time. My pronouns are she, her, hers, and I will be facilitating this meeting as per generally usual. We'll go around and do introductions, starting as always with the man with the plan, the master of all, my co-chair, Christopher Mitchell.
Thank you, Lori. My name is Chris Mitchell. I'm with the Department of Public Works and Anti-Litter and co-chair of the Clean Pittsburgh Commission. And I'll pass it back down to Debbie, who's next to my screen.
Hello, Debbie Steinberg. I am Sustainability Manager with Carnegie Mellon University, and I'm the university partner on this commission. Morning. Are we popcorning? Okay, Sarah, you're next on my screen.
Hey everybody, I'm Sarah Shea. I'm Deputy Director at the Pennsylvania Resources Council, and I will popcorn it over to my coworker, Josh.
I'm Joshua Schuneman. I'm the Collection Events Manager at PRC. We work with the City of Pittsburgh to hold collection events and disposal services for hazardous waste and electronics. And we also work with Allegheny County to do the same and provide those services to all residents. I will pass things over to my wife, Erin Tobin.
Good morning, everybody. I'm not feeling so great today, so I'm going to be off screen. Erin Tobin with the Pittsburgh Parks Conservancy. Popcorn. Kelsey.
Morning, everyone. I didn't know you two were married, so learning things every day. Kelsey Ripper, Executive Director at Friends of the Riverfront and resident of Lawrenceville, and I will pass it to Omaye.
Hi, my name is Amaya Quayle. I'm recycling / environmental enforcement specialist with the City of Pittsburgh and Environmental Services. I will pass it off to Giselle. Just popped on in. I don't know if she's ready. Probably not. Sanjeep.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Sanjeep Manandar. I'm Environmental Sustainability Manager with Pittsburgh Public Schools. I am going to pass it on to Giselle.
Hi, hello everyone. How's everybody doing? My name is Giselle. I'm with the mayor's office. I am a community liaison. I will pass it on to Kelsey. I really hope that they did not already call you. They did.
You did.
Okay. Somebody who hasn't been on here, who hasn't been called, want to go ahead? Lori, is that you?
Hi, I think Krista, yeah, I was going to say Krista and Alyssa are the only people I've marked down.
Hi, I'm Krista. I'm with the City of Pittsburgh Permit License and Inspections Department. I'm a inspection supervisor for the building maintenance. Not sure who's last.
Alyssa, if they're available, perhaps not.
Hi, I'm Lissa. I'm the program manager with Allegheny Cleanways. I am covering for our executive director this morning, Myrna Newman.
Thanks, everybody. Great work. I am going to take this opportunity to show you the agenda if I can find it. Yay! There we go. If you haven't seen it yet, this is our agenda for today. It is pretty basic. I will say up front, perhaps Erica will be able to join us shortly. If not, we will, of course, move that review and approval to our next month's agenda. And Erin, if you're not feeling up to doing a lot of presenting, and if you would rather send an email to the commission as a follow-up, that's fine too, if you just want to let me know that. So, welcome, introductions, reading of mission. I like to read the mission so we can remember what we're doing here. Today I'm going to read from our values statement, just the community section. It's a short one, it's a big one. The Clean Pittsburgh Commission values community engagement and believes that the best approach to neighborhood improvement is always directed by the people in that neighborhood. Thank you for being here with us and for being part of this community as the City of Pittsburgh and as the Clean Pittsburgh Commission in small and in large. So if anyone else has anything to say about the agenda at this time, I will take motions to approve or modify.
I'll approve. I'll motion to approve.
I can go ahead and second that. Thank you so much. So I think we will, let's just keep going on the thing. So if you all have that, if we need to go back to it, let me know. I can put it back up. I like to see all of you that I can see. So thanks for coming today. And so no, Erica, Aaron, did you want to send an email?
Sure, I'll send an email overview of what we're doing on the 22nd. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. I just throwing the option out there. So
while we're here, I've been working with Aaron on this, and Becca, who's also, she's running late, but she expects to come. So just for posterity's sake and throwing this out there for everybody who wants to join, we're going to be holding a cleanup in the Hill District, our neighborhood of focus, with UPMC. They're providing a lot of funds and volunteers for that. So we're Grounded is helping, and Pittsburgh Parks Conservancy is helping organize this. They're going to be providing supplies, all this great stuff. So so many of you, that's a Monday on the 22nd. If you are able, we'd love to have as many of you as available to come out, especially if we haven't really met in person before or in a long time. It should be fun. You'll get some details on that very soon. We're going to learn how many volunteers we're going to have from UPMC by the end of the day tomorrow. And then we'll start sharing out the locations of where we're cleaning, providing food, things like that. So more volunteers, always lovely to see all of you in person. But look here for your emails from Aaron soon.
okay. So I'm putting that on my calendar. That means that oh, it's still you, Chris. Up next on the agenda is the ballot bins update.
Yeah, as always, trying to keep this from being the Chris Mitchell show, and then I can't shut my mouth. But for the ballot bins, we've between last month and this month went around and checked them out. I'm going to share my screen. We'll just look at a couple of pictures of them again. Some new people may not be familiar with this project we've been working on for the past year, maybe at this point, but they are the very fun cigarette bins that ask a question of smokers and ask them to vote on the answer. We've had a lot of great reception from these, special social media. People really enjoy them and get a kick out of them. Our initial grant got us about 36 of them to start with in pilot areas. When we went around and checked out a lot of these in the past month, we found that areas that have large organizations taking care of the sort of business districts, your OPDC in Oakland, or your Southside Green Team on Carson Street, or even the terminal in Strip District, they were able to take very good care of these. Other places that we try to work with, like the mom and pops or bars or things like that, there's mixed results. A lot of them did good. A couple of them just kind of got hit with a lot of graffiti, a lot of destruction, vandalism. Several of them went missing in some areas, including my own neighborhood. That really bummed me out. We found that there were just kind of things like, let me see if I can find the picture, that these ties that are on, that we use to security of the polls and things like that aren't strong enough. So if we're going to continue this program, we may need to work with DOMI to get better ties instead of just whatever we got off of Amazon, things like that. I'm bringing this up again, even though we talked about this fairly recently. One, we looked to tamp down on some of the graffiti by providing extra information right there on top where most of the graffiti ends up, because it's such a big yellow space. It's kind of like catnip for people with markers. So we do have an opportunity coming up this month to apply for a new grant from Keep America Beautiful for more of these bins. And at first I thought, we're so unbelievably busy out of my office, I wanted to just throw myself in the river thinking about trying to do this again right now. But realistically, if we apply for the grant now, we don't get it for a while. City Council has to approve us accepting the grant. It takes forever to order them from England. So probably by the time we are ready to do this again, a lot of our projects should have been calming down. And so I think we'll probably have capacity to do this. One thing I would ask from the when we get closer to that time is some volunteers to help make connections with business districts, with areas that would like these placed out and would take care of them. With the ballot bins, the idea is that the bin itself would remain the city of Pittsburgh's property, but they would be emptied and maintained by our partner organizations, like those neighborhood organizations I was talking about before, or the bars that we put them outside of, and they get to do things like choose what questions go on them and stuff like that. So we had up an application for them, things like that. So I'm just throwing this out there that if we go for this grant, which I believe we will, I would really love some help on making those connections and setting up times and places and people who would love to help work on this with us. So that would probably be at the very least 6 months, if not more, down the line. But bringing that up today just as an update as where we're at. And we still have, I think, 2 clean, never used before bins here in my office that we can still place. If you know anybody that would want one immediately, we could probably still do that right now. So just something to keep in mind if you know of any bars that are having problems with cigarettes, if you know of any business districts that would like them. I was thinking Walnut Street seems like a really nice place that has like an area that takes care of their streets that would love this. Like some, unfortunately, we have such severe graffiti that we couldn't remove that we had to just take it down altogether. I'm going to see if I could spray paint this one black and put it up, and maybe that'll help, because this one was used a lot and I hate to leave that community without one just because they have like one person who has a problem, right? So that's the update. If anybody would be interested in helping plan this out, making those connections with businesses, setting up the appointments to place them, and everything like that, please reach out to me and we can work on that together. Before we move on, any questions about it?
Have you, Chris, seen, is there a lot of interest in or a waiting list of other businesses that wanted them and you couldn't provide them to them? Just
no,
what the
I think
expectation is?
everyone that we went with initially got it, and we still have just 2 left over because we didn't have enough applicants. So, but we didn't cast our net all that wide. I feel like I think we tried to say at first we wanted neighborhood or avenues of hope districts is one thing we wanted to focus on, and we got a little bit of response to that. Unfortunately, those were also the ones that were most likely to get destroyed. And then the other people we went to, I think to start with, was what's the Chamber of Commerce, like the nighttime economy people and things like that through Carson Street. And while the bars and the businesses did think that was interesting, they were more likely to be supportive of it if there was an overarching organization taking care of the area. So if there's any other areas like that, those seem to be the ones that do the best. I mean, we still have some great, individual partners along Butler Street and throughout the city, one-offs. Those are there too, but I think we got one to everyone who asked for one.
When people got the boxes outside their businesses, did it come with any like maintenance instructions on like how to remove graffiti or anything? I'm wondering if that would be helpful, or like spray paint it and this is the color you need, or here's a can of spray paint. I'm just thinking about making it easy for people.
Yeah, that's a great idea. I went out and just bought like a little paint remover, like spray, and used a little scraper, and 90% of the time that worked really great. There didn't come with any instructions. We could probably provide something. We also gave everybody, everywhere we installed one of these, we did it with the person on site. We said, here's how you open it up, here's how you empty it, and then gave them our card, Clean Pittsburgh Commission email, and then also on the back of every single bin, let me see if I could find a picture. If I took a picture of that, we have a sticker saying this is owned and operated locally, but if there's any problems, reach out to Clean Pittsburgh Commission at Gmail. So I think that'd be a great idea to include just a little bit more basic instructions, especially if we show somebody how to open this, and maybe that person who learned that moved on to a new opportunity and the company stuck with not knowing what this is. Having instructions that maybe are even on the inside of there, just another sticker on the inside that says, here's how to do X, Y, and Z. That's a really great idea.
Yeah, that could be helpful. I also think you're doing a lot, and having the contact information and installing with people is great. So I love it. So I hope we keep doing it. As to whether we expand it, don't have strong feelings on that. I know it's a lot of work.
It is. That's my only worry. It is a lot of work, and especially just garnering people who want to join, like walking that through with everybody. Putting them up, pretty easy. But we can have a further conversation for that later. If anybody has anything else, please reach out.
Thank you, Chris. It's time for Finance Committee update for this month. Sarah Shea, take it away.
Can I share? Oh yeah, I can share my screen. Let's see. I had our budget up. Where did it go? Hold on. There it is. I know Afton is on vacation, so. Sorry, guys. Making sure. Green. Sure. Okay. Hopefully did that work? Does anybody see an X or a Google? Okay, cool. Sorry, that took a little while. So a couple of us, Chris, Myrna, Omo, and I met earlier last week. We try to have a monthly, just a short check-in, just to make sure we're, paying attention, keeping this on our radar. A handful of stuff has already been approved, but there were two things that, or at least one in particular that came up that has not yet been approved. And that's just been our yearly support that the CPC has put towards the Garbage Olympics. Usually it's been, I think, 2,000, and Chris and anybody else can please fill me in if that is different, but it's usually been $2,000 helping with supplies, I think just kind of miscellaneous type stuff. And that was still going to be the plan for this year, but we can maybe do a vote on that today if the commission wants to approve those monies to go towards the Garbage Olympics. With that, we would have just under $20,000 remaining in our budget. And, that just sparked some conversation amongst the four of us who were on that call. How do we want to spend this money? We've, each year that we've had it, it seems like we varied on, we've tried different things out. We did a community, cleanup with Allegheny Cleanways one year. Last year, we kind of shared it out amongst a number of nonprofits, but a couple of the ideas that were discussed was One was new cameras for catching illegal dump like areas, specific areas, I guess. And Chris can talk a little bit more about this, but I know the cameras they're currently using are a little old and out of date, and that having something that would be easier for environmental services and public works folks to use to try and catch illegal dumping, that could be of value. Not sure what the cost would be on that. I don't know if we have that information. And then the other topic that came up was supporting neighborhoods for their steps. Like what level of support, obviously it wouldn't be infrastructure based. We're not talking about, pouring concrete, but more of beautification, cleanup around the steps, whether it's removing vegetation, working with, entities like Land Force and Cleanways to assist communities to get their city steps to a certain point, where then maybe they'd be able to maintain it and make them just easily more accessible, that type of stuff. So those are the two ideas that kind of came to the top. Some of the other things that we've had on there for a long time. The last couple of years, the CPC has subsidized e-waste collection for city residents up to a certain amount. That just gets taken off when people come to the city collection events. So that's always another option. And then I see the Litter League, Kelsey, I see this on there and I might have not been part of those conversations. So I just want to make sure we touch on and have just an open conversation. If people have any thoughts right now, or if we want to just have a separate meeting for those interested to discuss further.
I dropped the ball in Litter League and I need to send the request in. It's been on my to-do list and just kept falling to the bottom. I did have a question about Garbage Olympics though. Did we get any feedback about any additional from participants about any additional supplies or anything that they needed or different supplies, anything we should consider when talking about the budget?
Most years when we use that 2,000 almost exclusively on litter grabbers and just supply whatever we can buy for that 2,000 amount is just split up by how many teams we have. I've very rarely heard anything back from the volunteers explicitly saying, what about X, Y, and Z? It's usually they get a full box of bags, they get a box of disposable gloves, they get a box of reusable gloves, or not a box, but they get some reusable gloves of what we can get for free from other areas. And then usually that only shakes out to about 3 to 5 grabbers per team when we split that 2,000 up. But nobody's ever said this is not enough, as far as I know.
Great.
For that Litter League line, what was that for? It
was to sponsor. Well, the last tournament is in June and is in the city, and so it could be a sponsorship for that and cover supplies and just costs of running the event. And it's going to be downtown, and it'll be kind of adjacent to the arts festival because it's at the same time. So we've been, making sure that like PDP knows and the cultural district and trust and other partners down there. But it's really focused on just kind of like being a presence and letting people know that these types of cleanups are happening. And I think it'll be fun.
Did you have a set amount, or is that something you still need to work out as what you'd be requesting from the CPC?
Yeah, I think we had $3,000 as the sponsor level, but I don't think we could go lower than that too, especially since I don't think it makes sense to do a higher amount than the Garbage Olympics. So I was going to put together a budget, but probably around the $2,000.
And then once we have that in, I don't know if there's a discussion now, but if we can send it around if it's something that the CBC is interested in wanting to.
Okay, that sounds good. And then for the cameras, so I remember that I think that the cameras have been successful in identifying illegal dumping. And then has the city been successful in getting fines for the dumping, and could those fines go towards sustaining the camera program?
So the history of our cameras is with the city surveillance ones we did as soon as we piloted those the year before last is when we first started, and we were really impressed by the technology. We did have a high profile arrest with the illegal dumping, and we were very excited about what this could mean going forward. And then very shortly after that, our single enforcement officer, Missy Rosenfeld, who used to be a member of this commission, and many people are very familiar with, she had to go off for a medical leave of absence. So in that time, while she was out for much longer than we had expected, we have not done enough on enforcing illegal dumping. Everything that has been illegal dumping coming in from the city to the city has gone straight to DPW for cleanup without an enforcement work. That is changing rapidly right now because Missy is back in a limited capacity finally. We're so excited to have her again. So that's going to start seeing a very real movement. And then also our anti-litter inspectors is going to be helping out with that. We've hired, I think at a previous meeting, we met Chris and Colleen, our two new anti-litter inspectors. We also now have an inspection supervisor who's going to be working with that team. And then this week, unexpectedly, we had a new inspector show up and said, "Oh, I'm here." And we were struck by that. So we're really expecting our illegal dumping enforcement to go from 0 to 100 within the next couple of weeks. So we're excited about that. We're going to be going out today to put up one of our cameras. So we have to reevaluate what we're doing with city surveillance. We have those high definition video cameras placed on those poles, and that's what we got the arrest with. But also we still have the very old trail cams in play. And one thing that we were working with Allegheny Cleanways with when they had a grant for cameras to use in Homewood was trying to pair similar trail cams, small, still capturing just the things on there, but pairing like 2 of the trail cams that are very standard with one that has cellular data. So generally you want about 3 at each location so you could see it in different area from different angles if there's a license plate or something like that. But the idea with the cellular data one, because we wouldn't want them on all of them, and we just think that would be a lot of money thrown at data, right? But having one at each location would allow us to look it up at any time on our phones and see, is it worth going out there, pulling the other cameras down, taking those SD cards out, putting them in the computer, look through all the stuff. We were hoping to have some really good conversations with Allegheny Cleanways with what they had done when we had ordered those, but I'm not sure exactly. There's still meetings that need to happen around with Missy with Allegheny Cleanways. Alyssa, do you know much about that?
Yeah, our crew actually is going out today to check on the cameras that we have up. I believe it's in Homewood is where we have them. No, that's not right. I'm so sorry. I'm still catching up on what the whole thing with the trail cams. But I do know we get a lot of cars driving by. We do see a lot of trucks with stuff in them. The tricky part is even with multiple cameras, somehow we still manage to miss the people actually taking the stuff out of their truck or their vehicles and tossing it on the ground. So we're still playing with getting the right angle. We get a lot of cats though. We do see a lot of wildlife coming through, but we haven't actually gotten anything that is enough to report. And I think too, we've what we have found, which isn't much, we haven't reported it in because waiting for Missy to come back and working more directly with her.
Yeah, I believe today that the inspectors out of Environmental Services are going out to a location with Chuck Boucher, who's with a DPW who had worked with Missy on placing cameras before. He's going to show them how he had previously been taught how to put them up. I don't know if Missy's going to be able to make it today or not. It seems like something, a small emergency, it may have come up. But I'd love, especially when Missy's caught up, has the capacity to have a big conversation between ES, between DPW and environment and Allegheny Cleanways on her expertise in capturing license plates. What's the angles you got to get? So yeah, I think there's if we're looking for ways to use this money, some more of those cellular cameras, not just for the Allegheny Cleanways cameras, but also the ones that are out there now might be an improvement. We were hoping that like by this time we would have learned a lot from having those cellular cameras out there, but it's been rough without Missy. So we're very excited to have her back.
Yeah, I think one issue that we're having with those cellular ones is, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think someone in the city, if it was Missy or someone else, actually had the account for the cellular ones that we have, and we haven't been able to get into that. So that's one of the issues that we've had with the cellular ones. With the trail ones, they are not easy to maintain, not only with batteries, but the number of images of needing to upload them, go through them, and delete them takes a significant amount of time.
Yeah, that was always a concern with when I was exploring Missy's work. It's very labor intensive per camera, and then you don't know if you're coming out the other side with anything actionable, which is why we tried out that pilot program with the video. That seemed to, you just watch the video, you're not looking through thousands of stills. So yeah, let's have a camera discussion and see if there's something there that we could spend money on, or if we want to expand what we're doing with video instead. But those are great notes. Thank you very much. Also with Lissa, with the conversations Allegheny Cleanways have had around stairs recently, have you been part of that? I can't remember.
Yes, I have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think there's opportunity for the Clean Pittsburgh Commission to help fund any of the work that this task force, if we want to call it that, of partners are looking to support stairs?
Yeah, absolutely. So just an update on where we currently are. We are partnered with Land Force. We got support from the Garden Club of Allegheny County to focus on 5 specific set of stairs in on the north side in a few, like I think 5 different neighborhoods. So last Friday, we went out with Land Force, and both of our teams just took a look at all those stairs. We made a plan on the work that each of us needs to do, which is going to be, us doing the trash, Land Force doing all of the, not only cutting back of the invasives, but also replanting in those areas within a certain distance on either side of the stairs. And while Land Force is doing their part, we are going to start working with those neighborhood groups. Erin, actually, I was hoping to maybe pick your brain on the neighborhood groups in the area and look for stewards. So if we can find, hopefully not just individuals, but maybe like a church or a school group that is willing to take on those stairs, we will provide all of the tools that they need. We are hoping to attach either trash cans on the top and the bottom, or smaller buckets, so it's easier to take out the trash and they don't have to haul a big thing of trash all the way up the stairs. So putting smaller buckets along the stairways, especially for those longer ones, and then the stewards would be able to maintain it. They can reach out to us if anything is ever broken or needs to be replaced, or they need new trash bags. So this is kind of our pilot program to see how that stewardship works out, but we are definitely hoping to expand that and work with the Garden Club as far as creating like a commission for maintaining the stairs and stewardship.
In the previous conversation that I was a part of, did we find opportunity and overlap to do some of this work in the neighborhood of focus?
I'm sure we could. We haven't talked about that yet because this is the first time we've gotten stairs specific funding. So we picked the north side because I believe the garden club also works predominantly out of the north side as well. So, but I mean, honestly, I think it could be applied to stairs all over, you know, so we just picked this one because it worked with the funding that we got.
That's great. I think there's opportunity there, but there's a lot of questions on both of those kind of projects, the cameras and stairs. We just brought them up this time because it seems like a good place to start having those conversations and moving forward. So we just kind of want to keep that in mind when we're spending money, that those might be something big coming up, and we've got to work out details first, obviously. So thank you so much, Alyssa. What I'd like to do today is go ahead and vote on Garbage Olympics and Litter League, since those are just very tried and true. Everyone loves them, and they're both great events that I think really falls in line with, and I don't think anybody would really object to funding either of those as a sponsor. So could we call for a vote on both, or one at a time?
Let's go ahead. I think we should do them one at a time.
Yeah.
So all in favor of approving today our annual $2,000 expenditure towards the Garbage Olympics? If you would please raise your hand or use your reaction or so on and so forth.
I don't think I can vote. I just want to make sure, right? Because I'm covering for Myrna.
I think you probably can't, but thank you for asking. So that looks like pretty much everyone said yes, as far as I can see, but I will go ahead and ask for any, if anyone will vote nay on $2,000 for the garbage or annual Garbage Olympics. Sanjeev, oh, that's your hand up. That's not a vote. Do you have a question? You're mute.
I'm sorry, I thought we were using the emoticon there. Yes, I vote yes.
Awesome. Yeah,
Thank
there's
you.
like a wave and there's a hand raise, and I just want to make sure I didn't like push it through without answering anything. Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay. A+, no problem. Expenditure approved. Garbage Olympics, $2,000 2023. And then if we would like to go ahead and vote, I think this is kind of what we talked around, but let me just go ahead and name it for Litter League, an additional equal $2,000 for a sponsorship of the Clean Pittsburgh Commission for the Litter League event that will happen downtown, parallel to the Arts Festival in June. Is that correct? Is that the ask? I think. All right, if everyone could just raise your hand, all in favor. We'll just take a look at what we're looking at. Oh, yeah, we're going to use the rate. Got it. Okay. And any opposed to the Litter League expenditure approval?
I'm just going to abstain.
Thanks, Kelsey. On the record, and therefore that additionally carries $2,000 expenditure towards that Litter League event in June.
Kelsey, will that go to the Friends of the Riverfront? Will you guys be the recipient of those funds?
Yeah, it could be either of us, but either Cleanways or Friends, but
okay, we can get I think we just need to get an invoice from you guys to be able to make that work, so we can get that later.
I'll send that.
Sarah, was there anything on that budget you pulled up that would be ready to vote on today, or is everything else just waiting for more details?
I think everything else is waiting for more details, because we can look at, after these additions, I think we're close to 15,000 remaining, and looking at, you know, literati, do we want to do that again? That's $5,000 if we wanted to do that again. How much would the cameras be? How much would we be able to put towards a steps thing, and would that be enough? Maybe are all questions that within the next month before the next meeting, we can come to the next meeting with a little bit more of, okay, if we want to vote for this, this is this much, the cameras would be this much, you know, and talk with Lissa, we can talk with you guys at Clean Ways to see, you know, would $5,000 enable you guys to, with land force, do much, or not sure of kind of what your budget is right now. Maybe after the pilot, you'll know a little bit more. So if we want to kind of plan to come to the next meeting with some of those numbers so that the commission can kind of see what we have remaining, you know, and where we want to put those dollars.
And Sarah, would you mind, just as a friendly reminder for everyone, sending something out about the next budget mini meeting? If anyone, you know, that's a nice, at least a reminder to do before the next commission meeting.
Yeah, definitely. And if Chris or Lori Beth, if you have a listing, I mean, I guess I don't know if it's copied from the meeting. I can just invite everybody to the series. And that way, if you want to stick it on your calendar as tentative, it's no requirement, but it's there. And, you know, usually it's me, Chris, Omo, and Myrna that usually show up to the meeting, but anybody's welcome to join us.
We have so many new people too. I think just as hey, you could pop into this and to nail down some of those numbers prior to the next commission meeting. Thank you. Okay, that brings us to, I think that brings us to member organization updates. Before we go to member organization updates really quickly, is there anything else specifically commission related that anyone thinks we ought to have discussed? I think we're on track. I just throwing it out there. Okay. Member organization updates commence.
I nominate Omo to start.
Yeah, sure. I'll get it out of the way. Well, the marathon was a good, you know, cleanup after the marathon was it was a success. Oh my God. But I guess the most important thing that's coming up is we are resuming our last, and I think 5th and last phase of the blue bin distribution, hitting our northern and western neighborhoods. We're going to be, you know, gearing up to start in June the 6th. That's a Tuesday. And we've got, you know, some work to do as far as making sure we are sending the adequate outreach to people. So that's kind of where we're focusing our energy right now, is making sure we have stuff in order to send to folks. Yeah, what's up, Lori Beth? You got questions?
That's what West Side is going to start sometime on or after June 6th.
Yeah, we're not sure exactly where we'll start just yet, but yeah, we will sometime in that month. Maybe might, you know, scraggle on into July, but you should be getting a blue bin, but you'll get a postcard letting you know that with, you know, in 2 weeks we're starting, and you should be getting yours canned sometime soon after that. So look out for the postcard.
I got some next door pitchforks that I would like to shush with those dates. So thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem. Not too public yet, but I guess we'll have some press release going out soon as well. So, but yeah, shush them up, I guess. Anything else, Chris? No. Okay. All right. Cool. Yeah. Environmental services.
I will say for PRC, it was lucky I got, oh, sorry, Kelsey. I got to see Omo on Sunday, and the Public Works dumped all of the cups collected from the marathon. And PRC staff has spent a couple of days sorting through all of that material, and I got a picture of all of the compostable material that's going to be sent out. So thanks as always to DPW for driving out to Millville and finding a spot so you can dump all of those cups out and we can sort them all. Trying to think of what else. I think one thing that's coming up for us is working closely with the city in Afton on the residential compost pilot that should be rolling out in the next couple of months, if not sooner. So that'll be a big project that we'll be supporting the city on, and looking forward to kind of testing out some different types of residential compost systems and see kind of what we can come up with that, might work. And we'll be following it up with a report. So that's kind of exciting new news. And Josh, I don't know if you probably know the dates of the e-waste and HHW collections for the city better than I do.
Yeah, well, I guess ongoing every Tuesday and Thursday, we're down at the Environmental Services collecting e-waste, open to all residents of the city of Pittsburgh. And then as a side note to that, I think it was since our last meeting, we had a very successful neighborhood e-waste collection in Brookline. We had over 100% participation. All the registrants showed up, and then also, as usual, we had people driving by who happened to have TVs or various electronic waste in their car, or were happy to run back home and come back before we closed. So we had a great collection there as well. And this coming weekend, we have our household hazardous waste collection scheduled to take place at the outside of the Environmental Services building. But much like our Brookline collection, if you're not registered already, I'm afraid you're not going to be able to participate because we're at 100% capacity. But you can sign up for the collection later this summer as well. And then you can also check out the PRC website for other countywide collections as well that all city residents are of course welcome to attend in addition to that. And then we're in the early stages of planning our next neighborhood collection as well. So keep an eye and an ear out for that. I think that's about it for updates for our work. And shout out to our zero waste crew for the awesome work they did around the marathon.
So from Friends of the Riverfront, I just wanted to mention that we did a really great Earth Day event despite the rain. We did, in addition to tree planting, we did a big cleanup along with Southside Community Council. And I just wanted to give a huge shout out to DPW for providing a ton of support on that and being just like an awesome partner that day and picking up so many piles of garbage and trash. So it was really a fantastic day, and I'm sure and great to see Chris in person too in the pouring rain. And then we did have to, because of the rain, we had to cancel or push our color park refresh. So this is down on the south side around South 4th Street. We're trying to rein in the spread of graffiti. And so we're going to be doing, bringing the color park back to its more of its original look. And there'll be a day of priming of the surfaces with white, so the colors will pop, and that's going to be on the morning of the 23rd, that Tuesday. And then we'll do the public paint session on Thursday, the 25th in the evening. And fingers crossed that it does not rain, but it should be really fun. Baron Batch will be there to kind of coordinate where the colors are going to go. And then we've been working with DPW to identify ways to try to take the graffiti off of the trail surface, which is challenging because we don't want to make it too slick, and then it obviously gets lots of use. So we've been we're going to be piloting a covering for that to try to kind of push the graffiti back in, and we'll see how it goes, and we'll let you know. That's it.
I can go next. Hi, everyone. I didn't get to introduce myself earlier. I'm Becca Simon of Grounded Strategies. Let's see, main updates. Our community care program is well underway in the Hill District, Larimer, and Homewood. We've got quite a few stewards going out doing cleanups and planning cleanups, as well as just being engaged around larger conversations around maintenance in their community. We're looking to see if we can expand that cohort. So I'm hopefully going to be able to present next time, like how many folks we're still looking for in each of those neighborhoods. But other things, I know I wasn't here when the discussion around the cleanup was happening. I did send out the agenda to the folks who are part of that cleanup day. If anyone else needs it, let me know because I can share that out. But I believe we have around 4 sites for that cleanup day, and we'll have the volunteers confirmed tomorrow. So looking forward to that, and just looking forward to having this awesome day with everyone.
Our big updates is the STARE program that I was talking about earlier that we're working with Land Forest and the Garden Club of Allegheny County. Our first cleanup will be on June 2nd. The Garden Club will be meeting us out at Basin Street Stairs on the north side to do a pretty hefty cleanup Those are some pretty big stairs with a lot of dumping. So that should be very fun. Feel free to come out and join us. And in a week or two, our River of Focus series will be starting as well. Our crew will be starting in Denora this year. They are celebrating the anniversary of the smog incident out there. And they will be on the river all down the Mon, and they will be back in Duck Hollow, I believe, on June 9th. So that'll be a 3-week adventure down the Mon River, and we will be stopping all along the way. And then our land crew, you will always find them in the Hill District for now, still on Mondays and Fridays is typically when they're out there. That's it.
Giselle, is there anything shareable right now on either Love Your Block or City Cuts?
So Love Your Block, if you didn't know, and this might interest the group, is going to be having their application deadline next Monday, May 15th. If one of your organizations would like to participate in Love Your Block this year, please be sure to get your application in. If you don't think you'll be able to make that deadline, please give me a call or email me after this meeting so that I am able to help you through it. Additionally, City Cuts, we are still in the process of receiving applications and selecting vendors. We are hoping to start cutting grasses June 1st. If you or anybody that you know is interested in still participating in the program, right now we are starting to work on a wait list in case anybody else drops out. So please keep that in mind as we're now at full capacity in the program. So thank you so much to everyone who is involved. And don't forget, Love Your Block due May 15th, okay? I'm seeing some head nods. All right, perfect. Thank you so much. Anybody else have to leave? I think we might be done early then. Oh my God, an extra 30 minutes with our time. What shall we do?
My secret evil plan is always for this meeting to only take an hour. It's maybe less of a secret than I intend it to be.
Well, I will keep that secret and join you on that struggle. So does somebody do a call, a motion?
Yeah.
Motion to adjourn.
Can I do it since I'm officially a member now? Oh, this is exciting. Okay. Shoot, how does it go? Would someone like to make a motion to end our meeting?
I'll make a motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it since I just joined.
Oh, Merlin, go.
Hey.
Oh my God, this has been the perfect meeting. I've always wanted to do that and never had the chance to. So I'm feeling pretty hyped.
We'll get you in the loop, Myrna, later.
Lissa was on the call. Yeah, it's good. Thanks.
Lisa killed it. Don't worry.
I figured she would. Of course she would. Yeah. All right.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you all. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Don't forget to do your submissions for the newsletter. Bye.